Hey there guys, I'm Whybrow and I'm a mortgage broker and I'm sitting here today with Adam Pickstone.
How's it going, man?
What do you do, Adam?
I am in the video production industry, so I create video content.
That's awesome. Giving him a bit of a challenge today where we're videoing at the moment. There is a main road, but that's my fault. So we'll keep going into it. One of the things I wanted to talk about, Adam, is really there's a big parallel between what you do and what I do. And for you guys, you may not understand how a mortgage broker and a videographer can have something so similar.
I know it's a bit different,
yeah.
Well, mortgage broker and video.
Yeah, so we do things like you would go to a shoot, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. Get to see pretty good locations, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the cool location you've been to?
I like pretty dynamic locations, so like it could be on a sea cliff with rocks, and it could be in a forest. Those kind of things are really cool, but it just depends on the job. Like, it's really hard to kind of define what a cool location is because it depends upon what it may be.
Yeah.
But
I suppose that's similar. Like, sometimes I'll have people, the parallel is that I'll go to see someone at their home. I might have a beautiful home, but I'm not doing that exciting of a home loan.
Yeah.
Or I might go to someone that's trying to upgrade their home, and it's a pretty exciting home loan. It's really cool to get in there and help affect their future. But I suppose that's the easy bit, isn't it? The recording and meeting people, that's the easy bit, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Like, yes, obviously there's those challenges in that part of the production. Like, depends upon things from weather and to talking to the client and those things. There is definitely things you have to overcome in that, but in the grand scheme of things, it's very surface level. It's probably the easiest part of the job is to record things.
Yeah, so where does the nuts and bolts, where does the rubber hit the road, so to speak, with a videographer? Where's the bulk of the work?
For sure, it's in post-production, I like to think of video production like the iceberg kind of situation where, on the surface level, you see so much of the iceberg, but underneath the water, that's where the big part of the iceberg, it's like the Titanic for that. But so in post-production, that is where, on average, it can be from 70% to 80% of the actual real work begins, because you're changing things all the time. You're finding what you need to do in order to create the story that you're giving. So it's really kind of the hardest task is to make sure that in that post-production, you're both hitting what the client needs, but also what you need in order to produce that for the client. So it can take hours. It can be sometimes tedious, but it is also the time where you can be a little bit more creative. And that thing where you have an idea when filming what something might be can sometimes turn out to be something polar opposite. Take documentaries, for example. Like, I've filmed documentaries before where you've gone in with, this is what the documentary is going to be about, but it just shifts completely to what the documentary will be after. It's kind of crazy.
It is crazy, and I suppose that you've hit on so many aspects of what I do. When we do the meeting with a client, we've always got the challenges of, is this client going to accept me and sign up? They might reveal a different debt to a different piece of documentation to what you found and try to pre-screen on the phone and quote it up, so to speak. And you get to the end of the meeting, and that's the fun bit, obviously. For me, I love meeting the clients. That's where I do all my magic. But when you come back outside that and you get back to the office, that's where the nuts and bolts hit the ground. There's same thing, what we thought was going to be the story when we were sitting in the meeting now turns into something completely different. And the product offering I may have thought of at the meeting for one particular bank to another may turn into a completely different one because of the story.
Yeah, it could be a rabbit hole where you just it goes from one hole to another, and to find the end result, in what you do is the same as what I do. Like, it can weave in and out of certain things in order to get the right result.
That's right. And it's from, like, I've got 30 lenders I can go to. It may have turned into one, now it's turned into another. And then you've got all the subsections of companies underneath it. One valuer is different to another valuer, just as people are different. So the nuts and bolts is really in that loan processing, which is very similar to the editing. And editing and processing a loan really gets to where we need to get to, the formal approval, the final cut.
You know, absolutely. It takes certain drafts in order to get that final cut. You know, with my clients, it could take hopefully 1 to 2 drafts that I can get the end result. But still, what I first send out to a client is not always going to be what the end result will be, because the client will want their feedback and they want what they want inside the edit. So it just becomes that longer process because there's more people involved in that, which is kind of similar to you. There's
That's right.
so many people involved in what you do for the client. It's not just solely you, it's the banks, it's all this kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, what we both do is collaborate with people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's where the value is. The value with working with us both in different subsects of your life, obviously, is that we meet you where you are, we look at your goals and objectives, we create a masterpiece from that. We record, we meet, we get the information, we put it together to be able to edit, process, approve, and get that final cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That right.
So, anyone watching this at the moment that is intrigued because a videographer and a mortgage broker are talking, how would someone get a video in touch with you to do video for their business, for their for just a personal thing they're doing, an event in life? How would they get in touch with you, Adam?
Sure, man. So I'm obviously on all the socials. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. You know, Pickflix Productions is my company. Also have a website, so you can go to pickflixproductions.com.au, and if you fill out the contact form, you can see my videos, you can see kind of what I do. There's three kind of things that I focus on. I have straight videography, which is obviously filming and editing the whole process, what we've been talking about. There is video editing, so if people do have curated content that they already have, they just need to create something from that, they can pass it to me. And then obviously, during the time that we had last year, one of the biggest things that's happened in the industry for video production is live streaming. So any companies that might need form in live streaming, and that's something that I can obviously offer as well. But you can follow me on all my socials, and I like just to connect with people. If you have even an idea, it might not even be, it can be the tiniest idea, and you think it might lead to creating some form of brand awareness or any kind of promotion, then shoot me an email and we can talk about it.
And the other thing too is anyone self-employed that wants to do video can lead to more sales can lead to more wage and profit leads to me getting you a bigger home.
Good segue.
Being a bit cheeky there. And for people that want to get in touch with me, obviously you're on my page or on Adam's page, so just direct message, messenger, whatever the means is there, jump in there and you can get in touch with us and we can help change your life.